What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is English Grammar Explained, and this time we continue to talk about possibility, probability, and now I am especially interested in so-called logical assumption. What is logical assumption? Of course, it's closely connected with it, with possibility and probability. It is based on it, but it is more subjective, if you will. It is just an assumption, person's opinion, or whatever. So this video is going to be super short, super easy, and super useful, I think. Okay, let's take a look at this example. He can't be a rich man. Look how shabby his boots are. So here, I am especially interested in this thing here. Can't be, because this thing can't be. It is my logical assumption. In other words, I don't think he is a rich man. In my opinion, moreover, my opinion has some foundation here. Look how shabby his boots are. This is my argument, if you will, in favor of my opinion that he is not a rich man. So this is basically how logical assumption looks like. I express my point of view. I express my opinion. Of course, I am about 90–95% sure I am right. But it is my opinion nevertheless, and I am not sure 100%. As usual, logical assumptions, just like probability, possibility, and other things with modal verbs, it can be expressed concerning the past or present, and of course it can be formal style and informal style. So let's look a bit closer. So here we have a kind of chart. First, what modal verbs I can use if I talk to my friends and I want to express my logical assumption about something. Here I can use must with present infinitive, and using this thing here and this thing here, I show that I'm pretty sure about something. For example, his face is red, he must be angry. So here is my modal verb, must, and here I have present infinitive. However, what if I want to say something negative? If I want to say, just like in my sentence here, that the guy is not rich, at least in my opinion. So what can I use? Of course, I use cannot, and pay attention here. I don't use can, I use cannot. Because cannot in this case is just the opposite of must. And here we are. He cannot be rich because his clothes is shabby. Or look at his cheap clothes. Something like this. So here I have this cannot or can't, if you will. I can also use can't. And here we have present infinitive, like this. As you also see, in both situations, we don't only have one sentence with this must or cannot or whatever, but we also have some arguments in favor of this expression. So it's highly recommended to present some arguments, to present something in favor of my opinion, so that people could understand you better. So what about formal style? What can we use here? So here situation is pretty easy. We also use must with present infinitive. I can just copy and paste all this thing from here, and of course the example, his face is red, and so on, so on. Just the same thing. What about negative? Well, here we have some difference. Here, instead of cannot, I use could not. But in fact, it's the only difference. Could not. And of course, present infinitive here. As for the example, it can be, well, the same, but with could. He could not be rich. Here is could not, and here is the infinitive. Okay, so far so easy. What about past? If I want to express my logical assumption concerning something that could happen, or I'm sure it happens in the past or whatever, in this case I use just the same modal verbs. Just the same must and just the same cannot, or can't if you will. But then I have to use perfect infinitive instead of present, because we talk about past events. And this is the only difference. So let's take some example. He must have been sick or must have been ill yesterday. So here we have modal verb and perfect infinitive here. What about more formal style? Just the same story. Again, must and couldn't or could not. It's better to say could not instead of can't, and of course plus perfect infinitive. For example, he could not have seen them yesterday. I don't express the reason here, well, just for being short. So here I have this could not, and here perfect infinitive. So basically here we have just 3 modal verbs: must, cannot, could not, and that's all. And of course let's not forget about infinitives. Okay, are there any analogs or replacements, if you will, for these modal verbs? Of course they are. It is possible. Well, it's pretty straightforward. Or it is impossible. It is very probable. I am sure. Or I am pretty sure. Well, I will write it like this. Pretty, I'm pretty sure, I'm strongly sure, I'm fairly sure, and so on, so on. So you get the idea. I think so, I don't think so, and so on. And this is all for now. Please subscribe, leave your comments, share, like or dislike or whatever. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.